Alrighty. Good morning, guys. 10 p.m. for you. Sorry about where you at. Where you from, Bryson? It's got to be overseas somewhere. It's always GM somewhere, right? It's always good morning somewhere. How's everyone doing? Friday feels good. Happy to be Friday. After this week, definitely could use a little bit of a weekend, right? I'm pretty excited about the weekend this week. Sometimes I don't want the market to close. Sometimes I'm pretty damn excited for the weekend. This week, I'm definitely very excited for the weekend. Time to relax, watch some F1, get my mind off, the craziness that we've seen in the market, the volatility that we've seen. These are the fun times, right, guys? Japan, wow, that's awesome. I want to visit Japan, man. That's awesome. These are the times in the market where it's a little bit fun, right? Because all of us, basically, what we're trying to do is trying to figure out where this market's going to hold up, and this is when the real the people that can manage themselves, can control themselves, usually end up coming out successful. These are the times where you just got to really be careful and try to figure out where you think that this market starts to hold up. You got to get a really good feel for the sort of the, not even the technicals, but more the feeling of the market, the sort of the emotion around the market. It's a really true thing, guys. I mean, if you've been trading for a while, you know there's like times in the market where it's just like a bad feeling. Like it's like everyone's sort of feeling the same way, right? Like everyone on the live stream and everyone around the world has that same sort of feeling. They're like, I wonder what's coming next. It's a very questionable time, right? And those are the emotions that come into the market, and that really does affect the price action. So this is the time where it's a little bit fun. I mean, it's definitely a little bit sketchy, and you have to save your money. You have to protect your money at these times. That's what I'm trying to do as best as I can. Just trying to save my money, protect my money, so that I have the cash ready to go when I start to see opportunity again. So today, a little bit of a bounce back, a little bit on the futures. Actually, somewhat of a Neo bounces back. To be honest, Vincent, I just don't really like Neo. I hate to say that because you have the same name as me, so I want to say good things to you, but I just don't like Neo as an investment. I know a lot of my friends are invested in Neo. And I know a lot of people are. I'd rather stick with the American stuff, man. I don't know. I mean, I could be totally wrong. That's just my own personal feeling, guys. I don't really invest in any Chinese companies. It's just a thing that I don't do. I have no interest in investing outside of stuff that I know is rock solid. I know Microsoft's good. I know Apple's good. I know Home Depot's great. I know stocks like Tesla's Tesla's good. It's a little bit more volatile, but I know Tesla's good. I know Nvidia is good. I know Netflix is a good name. I don't try to wander outside of that really solid name of stocks. It's not really what I want to be doing. When I'm investing my money in long-term stocks, I don't want to have to worry about it. I just want to have it sit. I want to add to it every week. And in 50 years, I want to wake up to a multi-million-dollar portfolio. That's all that I care. That's all that I care about. I don't care, about, picking the hottest stock this week and, making 100% return, over maybe a 2-year period or something like that. I just want to invest every single week in solid names. And in 30 years, I wake up and I have a multi-million-dollar portfolio and I can just sell calls against it until I die. That's really all that I want to do. That's my plan, guys. So, everyone has different plans. But my plan is just build a big ass portfolio, sell calls against it for income in the future when I can actually sell a good amount of it in the future. Like I'm not going to sell like one call. If I have 100 shares, I'm talking like a few calls, like 10, 15 calls with a big portfolio. Collect that premium, and that's my sort of retirement plan, right? So that's what I'm doing, and to do that, I just need to keep investing in solid names. So let's go ahead and get started. That's your little speech right there for the morning. So today, Friday, December 3rd, it's 8:05. Let's get started. Wow, we already have 300 people in here. That's pretty early for 300 people. Nasdaq trying to bounce back, market trying to bounce back. It actually held up pretty well today, or yesterday. Held up pretty well yesterday. I'll show you guys the rejection in the morning and then sort of the grind higher later in the day, which I'm not sold on, but I will keep an eye out for any potential strength that I see. I'm still very much with trust issues in this market. I think there's nothing wrong with still having trust issues in this market. So here we go. Here's the stream schedule for today. Yeah, Roku, solid name. Roku. Futures, as always, Nasdaq, S&P, Dow. We can look at the Russell as well. I always forget about the Russell. Earnings calendar. I don't think we got anything this. We can take a look. I'm not sure how much we have this morning. Economic calendar should just be your normal Friday. Friday payrolls. So unemployment rate, payrolls this morning at 8:30. We'll see if anything comes out there at 8:30. I'll show it to you real quick. So you got non-farm payrolls, unemployment, 8:30, average hourly earnings. That could be interesting. We'll keep an eye at that in the stream. 10 o'clock, we got capital goods, factory orders, ISM services index. So we'll see. But this morning, 8:30, let's see if we get any reaction. We'll see if we get any reaction to that non-farm payrolls. Chinese stocks. So, let me go. I know a few. We had Marvell. I'm not sure how to pronounce. I don't have it on here, but we got to talk about that one. MRVL, that thing's straight up here after earnings yesterday. So we'll look at earnings. Chinese stocks under a lot of pressure. You had the D list yesterday. I am astonished by Baba's chart. I have to be honest, guys. I am astonished. I mean, this thing is nasty. And I would not be surprised to see this thing under 100 here soon. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy to see Baba once, a very solid name for a lot of long-term portfolios. And, not for me. I never took it. I just don't like the Chinese stocks. But it's crazy. It's crazy to see. I must say. And I think it's a little ridiculous because I'm sure Baba is a great company. But people just don't want their money in that uncertainty, right? You have to know, you have to remember, this is real people's money. Do people want their money in that questionable type of area? Like Baba could easily, maybe Baba gets delisted. Maybe Baba goes right, just stays on the Asian markets. Maybe that's something that happens, and maybe that's why a lot of people are just saying, "Hey, I need to get my money out of here. I'd rather just invest in in a good American company and something I don't need to worry about. Throw it in Microsoft, throw it in Apple. You don't have to worry about those names." So it's crazy. Baba is sort of melting right in front of our faces. It's wild to see. And it probably still has. I haven't looked at the fundamentals, but I can't imagine them being very bad. I'm sure they're very good actually. mRNA retest. I don't like doing technicals on biotechs, but I do like this retest on mRNA. I want to show it to you guys just in case some of you guys like to trade biotech, so I'll show it to you today. Tesla, large flag. Shout out to Jamal in the Discord. He sort of posted that this morning. Got my eye on it, and it looks really good. It's a long-term play. It's not something that's going to happen here soon, but it looks very similar to the last flag that we just broke out of a few months ago. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Visa, MasterCard, Amex. Very interesting moves yesterday. Visa, MasterCard, Amex. These stocks have been just totally shut down. I mean, totally killed over the last few weeks. The whole payment processing or sort of sector is just terrible right now. Square, PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, Amex, even Affirm and Upstart are sort of in that type of financial fintech. It's in the realm because Visa, MasterCard, Amex is not fintech, but you get what I'm trying to say. That whole payment processing sort of space is just getting crushed. So Visa, MasterCard, Amex, I want to look at them today. Upstart, nice trend. It held it yesterday. So let's take a look at that. I'm not saying it's going to hold up, but I'm going to put it on your radar. If you guys come here to the live streams, please know that I'm putting stocks on your radar. This does not mean you go out and you buy it at open with your life savings, and you come back to the live stream and say how I was wrong. That's not what this is. This is me putting stuff on your radar for you guys to look at. Square trade. We'll break down my square trade from yesterday. If you did not watch my video, you guys can go ahead and watch my video from yesterday, but we'll go over it very quickly here in today's live stream. PayPal. PayPal, I think PayPal, I know everyone's very bearish on PayPal right now, but I think PayPal at some point will find legs. So I want to show you guys PayPal, the pullback that it's had, maybe some opportunity. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Finally, Netflix. This is one that I do not want to miss. I don't think Netflix should be where it is. I think Netflix is resilient in any type of marketplace, in a virus environment, in a non-virus environment. I like what Netflix is doing. I like the space that I like the competition that they're going to overrun. I think they're going to overrun most of the streaming industry. I enjoy Netflix more than anything else. It seems like they really have a leg up on their competition. So any pullback that I see on Netflix, I'm definitely interested in. So I'm going to keep an eye on Netflix here, guys, and see if there's any opportunity. And then finally, we will go to the members' Google Docs. Let me go ahead and pull that up for you guys real quick. If you guys are a member of the live streams, you can go ahead and go to the Google Docs on the community tab. I will go ahead and post the community tab. Scroll down to where it says, so I just posted it in the live chat. I'm going to pin the message. Scroll down there until you see it's a post from 4 days ago. It says 11:29 stream. If you are a member of the YouTube channel, you'll see it. If you are not a member of the YouTube channel, you will not see it. So that's just for the people that press the join button down below. So we'll look at those stocks after we do our normal schedule. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. First thing, earnings calendar. Let's get a quick look at what reported yesterday. Pull this over here. Got my Canva going over here for you guys. You guys use Canva? Canva's great. I love Canva. They should go public, Canva. So here is DocuSign yesterday, MRVL yesterday, Ulta yesterday. So we'll go ahead and take a look at a few of these. DocuSign, MRVL, and Ulta. So we'll get those. MRVL, definitely. That one was crazy strong. All right. PayPal option today. You got to do what you want to do, Ryan. All right, Nasdaq. So there's a few levels I'm watching here, guys. There's a few levels I am watching here. The first big level. Well, let's start from like the bottom. Let's go bottom up. Bottom up. The first big level. Let's delete these. Is this uptrend? This is the first one, right? This is the first thing that we need to be watching. Could we potentially make our way back down to this uptrend? That is definitely possible, and it would not be, I wouldn't be surprised. That would make sense, right? If we saw a chart that looked like this, 1, 2, 3, and you keep on moving higher, right? If we see this pullback, I don't think you're gonna get many people that are just astonished, because it does look like it definitely is possible. You had a little bit of a head and shoulders up here. Maybe you get the pullback. That is the first level that I'll be watching. The big level that needs to hold. I mean, if this doesn't hold, and then you come back to say these lows, then you just basically were flat for almost 2 months in this market, which is just not really a great thing. So I would like to see the uptrend hold. That would be almost a crucial hold for me at this uptrend. So that's the number one hold that I want to see. Number two is this level right in this area. So right here around this 15,150, you guys can see we had some previous highs, and this is where that breakout sort of occurred here back in September. So if we come back to that, that would be the next level that I would like to see hold. So that's number two, right here around 15,150. Yeah, I think you need to we have someone that posts that every day. I think Breadman, I think Breadman's a member of Earnings Whisper, but I think they posted on their Twitter too, live fire. If you go to Earnings Whisper's Twitter, I think they posted there. So here's the second level, 15,150 area. That would be where I want to see hold. Now, the immediate and short-term level that I think is very, very crucial is these September highs. So if I zoom in here, these September highs is, if we bounce off this, then I think this market stays bullish in the short term, right? So this is a very important level. Now, this level over the next few days, if you guys are familiar with sort of how moving averages work, right? The moving average here in the 50 is going to keep grinding higher, little by little, every single day. That, see how the line is being created almost every day that passes, the line moves forward, right? So in a few days, if we consolidate here, in a few days, this 50 SMA is going to be right around this 15,700, right? Let me turn this yellow to make it look like it actually is there, right? So there you go. This 50 SMA that I just sort of drew and extended right there is going to be moving higher over the next few days. And at some point, I believe these will meet. They will meet the price action and the moving average, as well as this previous high. This will meet here, I think, in the short term. If we move down, maybe we get a little bit more downside. If we do, then you probably start to meet this 50 SMA. So, I'd like to see that hold, and I'd like to see that be confluenced with this 15,700. So that would be that would be the best case scenario in my opinion, guys, for the overall health of the market. I think Nasdaq pulls back a little bit more. You pull back to the 50, you pull back to these previous highs, you create some type of a double bottom, some type of an inverse head and shoulders here, something to prove that we are finding support. Let's say there's a little bit of a trend here. Let's say the market does something like this, right? Little this, little that, one of these, and then one of those, right? That would be what I'd like to see. Something like this, maybe a pushback to trend, rejection, pull back to 15.7, a little bit of consolidation here, 50 SMA hold, previous high hold, and then you start to push out of this flag. That would be a beautiful sight. That would be very nice. And that's not being ultra bullish or bearish. That's just being a realist here in the TA. I think that's definitely a possibility, and I would actually really like to see that. So that's what I'm looking at on the NQ, guys. Let's see if we can hold this 15.7. If we go to the really, really short term, and we just go to let's go to the 30-minute chart. Let's grab the 30-minute and let's look at just this last few weeks, right? So here's the really, really short term on the NQ. I should screenshot that, right? Maybe I will. I'll screenshot it later. Yeah, guys, if you remember, we screenshotted that. If you came here on the live streams, you know that we screenshotted that little drawing yesterday. I think I deleted it. Where did it go? Is this it? I don't know. I have to find it. I think I deleted it. No, that's not it. You guys know what I'm talking about. We screenshotted the little formation on the Nasdaq yesterday. It worked out beautifully. So, anyways, in the very, very short term, guys, these areas look pretty damn tough to me, right? This is a little bit nasty. Do I think the Nasdaq has the power to get right through here? It's very possible. If we really start to heat up here today, which is, it's a possibility. I'm not going to rule it out. You never can rule out something on the market. But you guys can see here over the last 2 weeks, this looks pretty tough here. You gotta be real here. This looks like a pretty tough level, and we have to see if we can get through. This should probably be some pretty heavy supply in this area. Probably a lot of previous support turning into resistance. So you have previous support, previous support, previous support, and previous support. And that is most likely going to turn into resistance as we push into it. So today, if you want to be bullish into next week, or if we want to be, if this is going to look good, we're going to want to see this. We're going to want to see some of this, a little bit of consolidation here, and we're going to probably want to see a close above those highs, right? We're going to want to see something like this today. I'll go ahead and screenshot that for you, Mike Newman. Here we go. Let's screenshot that. Let's see if that comes true. So that is something that I would like to see happen. If it's a little bit of a stretch, I think. It's a little bit of a stretch, but that's the level that we need to get through today. These previous lows that will most likely turn into resistance. So that's 16,000. I'd call it 16,100, 16,150. Those are the levels I'd watch there. All right. The ES. Let's go to the daily chart. Here's the ES, guys. So right now the ES is bouncing off the 50 SMA, right? And is this another 50 SMA test on the ES? If we look back, back to May, June, July. Excuse me. May, June, July, August. You guys see 1, 2, 3, 4 tests of the 50 SMA. And is this just another test of the 50 SMA? Maybe. Yeah, is it the weekly 20? Yeah. Wow. It is perfectly the weekly 20. Good job, Trader. Trader Stun. Yeah, good call. It's the weekly 20 as well. So that's pretty big. That is pretty... I think I actually... I don't know if I'll be able to find it. But yeah, that's a pretty nice weekly 20 right there. 20 SMA on the weekly chart. It's good. It's good to see. We got to see if that holds up. That is probably one of the biggest things to be looking at today. The weekly chart, 20 SMA. That's right there at 4,500. So 4,500, important hold there. 4,500 on the ES. That's 450 on the SPY. 20 SMA hold on the weekly chart. On the daily chart, you're right at that 50. So right there at that 50 SMA on the daily, on the ES as well. So basically from this point, guys, you just don't want to see, you don't want to see lower lows, right? That's what you don't want to see. Lower lows is going to be a little bit nasty. That's what you don't want to see on the ES. Now, if we go to, I think it's sort of stuck in around here. I mean, it's not perfect, right? It wasn't a perfect. You can't always have perfect retest, right? There's always going to be a little bit of slippage. So for the most part, so what you guys we saw on the Nasdaq. Let me draw this out here. So remember on the Nasdaq how I was saying as you move up on the yeah, we could, you never know, Mr. TNT. You never know, man. You just got to take what the charts give you, man. I'm not, I'm someone that's just going to take it day by day. I can't say, hey, I'm going to hypothesize that, this market's really bullish or really bearish. I just don't think I don't like to, maybe I'm very different than a lot of people, guys. I don't like to try to make large hypotheses about the market. I don't like to make a YouTube video or get people in my Discord and try to persuade them into some type of hypothesis that I have for the market. I just don't like doing that. I don't like trying to guess what's going to happen. I don't like, trying to say, hey, there's this, and this reason why, the market should be down here, or this, and this reason why the market should be up here. I just like to take it day by day, react to what the technicals are showing me, and that's it. And I don't like to cloud my head with any of those emotions or thoughts, because the more you have those thoughts, the more you try to guess what's going to happen in this market, the more you're going to have emotions in your trading. I like to cut it out. I don't like any of that in my mind. It's also probably a little bit of my style, my personal personality. I am a very dry person, right? I don't have many emotions. I don't care about much. I just, live my life, do what I do, and stay pretty silent. I'm pretty much a very introverted person. So I just don't like to go out there and try to predict what's going to happen here on the market. Day by day, that's what I'm taking it. And right now, what I see is a 50 SMA hold on the ES, a previous retest high, and that is what I'm going to look. That's what I'm going to look at right here. So pull back, hold here at the 50 SMA. Let's see if that holds up. Weekly chart 20 SMA. If we go to the shorter term time frames, you guys can see we're still on this little downtrend. So this is really the most important thing here in the very, very short term. Right here, you have this little downtrend that's sort of forming. It's a little bit messy, but it's there. It's definitely there. So here is the downtrend on the ES that I would be watching, right? And what did we get here yesterday, right? We got a personality. You said personality, so I said it. Yeah, personality of a drywall, pretty much. So pullback, little double bottom, right? Little double bottom, very nice. It's good to see. I mean, that's definitely worth something there. So a little bit of a double bottom at this previous support. That's very clean. You're starting to get a move higher. So if you're looking at this chart, and if you don't think about anything besides the chart, you're not focused on, this and that, this is bad, that's good, this is bad, media saying this, all that nonsense. If you just focus on this, then downtrend, double bottom, if you get this break, there is definitely a possibility of some bullish upside. I don't know how long, but that breakout could definitely start a little bit of a push. So I would watch this downtrend. If it rejects, then you probably move back lower. If it breaks out, then you probably get a little bit of a push. So that downtrend is what I would be watching there on the ES. Finally, or not finally, but next, the Dow. Dow Jones, I think at some time we'll find some opportunity as these virus concerns start to blow over, if they ever do. But Dow is going to be the one that's the weakest, right? Because of the virus concerns, because of travel names. For any headline that comes out, it's always going to be the Dow that's the weakest. So we'll see what happens here. The Dow, I'm sort of looking away from it. I'm keeping an eye on it to see what it's doing, but I'm not so much trading the names. Right now you're sort of just in this channel. It's pretty difficult to say what happens here in the Dow because you're not quite back at these lows and you're not really at any key structure points. So you're sort of just trading within this channel, which I am not someone that wants to try to guess what happens in this channel. So you're trading in a channel on the YM, and you're also trading in the channel on the RTY. You could say that this is getting pretty close to support, right? It's sort of hovering right in this area at these support levels. So maybe you start to find some legs here on the RTY back to the upside. But again, this is a channel. I'm not trying to trade in the channel. So I'm not a channel trader. I like to see trends. So this is no trend for me, and that means no trade. I keep it very simple. No trend, no trade. I don't even care about it. So right now, RTY channel, I don't really know, guys. It's impossible to see what happens in a channel. The one thing I'll say is there's maybe a higher possibility of it bouncing here because of the channel support to the downside. All right. So let's quickly look at two earnings plays, and then we got to get going because it's 8:30. So let's look at Docu real quick. DocuSign. So what did Docu do on earnings? It looked, holy crap. I didn't even realize this. Whoa. All right, so Docu clearly had a very bad earnings. I did not even look at this yesterday. Okay, so they lowered their guidance. It's down 31%. Holy crap. All right, yeah, that's nasty. I'm not really sure. I guess usually when I see a move like this, I just watch it. I don't really try to participate. But where are we at here? Damn. What are we at? 160, 161. Oh my God. All right, yeah, this is bad. This is a bad drop on Docu here. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that drop here on Docu. So all the way back to 160. Man, anyone take puts on this? Anyone go for it? That's a pretty bad drop on Docu, guys. So is this something I would be looking to buy the dip on today? No, absolutely not. I mean, it may work out, but that's just risky. So 161 is where we're at. We're all the way down to here, guys. I know it doesn't show it there, but we're all the way down here on this DocuSign. Does it bounce back? It very well could be, but I'm not going to be the one to buy it on day one, guys. Let it show you some support. Let it show you something. You don't need to be taking these things on day one. I like it to give me some insight. I want to see it show me something. Maybe it tries to get back up into this 188. But yeah, just really bad. Weekly chart looks really bad. There's no support here. I'll show you guys real quick the volume profile. There's not going to be much support under this 190 level. Not going to be much volume under this 190 level. Look at this. So Here's the volume profile on the weekly chart. So if I zoom in here, you guys are going to see under this 190 level, look at this void in volume. There's not much there. Why is there not much there? Because this thing was straight up here. It was vertical. So when the stock is vertical, there's not much support. It's not much volume. It's just sort of vertical. So a drop under this 188, 189 is pretty nasty. And does this move down to like this previous structure down here around 90, 100? Maybe. That would be really nasty, but this is a very big void in volume. I would be very careful trading in this area. You know, I definitely want to give this at least a day. All right. That's DocU. Probably a good watch maybe for some morning, panic to the downside. What's next? MRVL. So MRVL reported this morning as well. MRVL had really nice move up to 86 this morning. So here it was pre-earnings. You guys can see a little pullback. 4-hour chart will show us post-earnings. You can see MRVL up to around 86 this morning off some good earnings. Again, guys, I'm not gonna. I can't tell you what to do here on earnings plays. Just want to bring it to your attention. MRVL up, nice move, and pull back on. Looks like the Nasdaq's going up, and pretty nasty pullback on DocU. All right, Nasdaq. Holy crap! Yeah. All right. Let's see if it holds. So what's the level, guys? The level here is on the hourly chart, remember? Here we go. We're starting to get into that level here already. So here it is. We're in that resistance. So that resistance right there, that's what we need to get through, right? So there you go. That's what I'd be watching. It looks like we're pushing up pretty quickly in here. So up to around 16,150. That's what I would like to look at. All right. So yeah, I know economic data's out, guys. Can you guys hear that landscaper? I might have to go close the door. Let me go. Non-farm payrolls. Here we go. In the Discord, we got this little bot that sends just sort of sends these tweets from breaking news. U.S. non-farm payrolls actual 210 versus 531,000. Holy crap. So unemployment rate 4.2 versus 4.6. So lower unemployment rate. Wow. Yeah, nice move this morning on the futures. You see DD shares extend losses after they're getting delisted. So unemployment rate down, non-farm payrolls down. Let's see what this market does. We're in this little zone right now. All right, so let's go ahead and get started into some of our other names here. Chinese stocks. Let's look at DD. So DD, guys, getting news of being delisted. And I'm not sure if this goes to zero, which I mean it should, because there's no value of this company. If you own shares of a stock that's getting delisted, I don't think you're getting anything out of it. So you're back down here to around 7 this morning. Here's the 4-hour. So you guys can see, I mean, if this thing breaks below 7, this could really start to break down. There's not much here. I don't see why this finds support after getting news of being delisted. So I would, I'd be careful because it could definitely be manipulated here. But yeah, DD getting news of delisted. That's a Chinese name. Baba, guys. Baba, really nasty as well. Look at the pre-market this morning getting sold off. Could definitely be another downside candidate. The daily chart here is just disgusting. Look at this daily chart. At times, I thought maybe we'd find some bounce, but it just proven that it just can't get going. There's just no one that's willing to buy this dip. When no one is willing to buy a dip, it's just a waterfall. Like who's buying here? Who wants to be? It's like throwing someone at the front of the Squid Game, the final game, where they're jumping across the pieces of glass. Some of them fall, some of them don't. It's like the person that would just say, "Hey, I'll go to the front. I don't care." Those are the people that we're going to buy here, I think. There's going to have to be a lot of people to start to sort of pile up and be okay with, having unrealized losses to get this thing to hold up. Because right now, this is in a complete waterfall. Straight down. I really wish I took this. I mean, look at that. That's just, if you guys have been in puts for a little bit on on Baba. Congratulations, because you probably are just sitting pretty right now. But yeah, pretty nasty here on Baba. Here is the weekly chart. Here's the weekly chart on Baba. Very long, time frame. This was previous support at 130. You guys can see right here, 130. Break through it. We just broke through that. Do we come back down to say these 109s, even down to this 86? Maybe. 109, 86. Those are the two next levels I'd watch. But overall, guys, I'm not going to spend too much time here. Baba, Chinese stocks under pressure today. That's what I would be watching. All right. mRNA. So, 4-hour chart. This is all I wanted to show you guys on mRNA. What you'll see here is we had a previous support around this 295. We pushed higher, rejected off this 360 right here. We pulled back to this 295, and we are now at this retest zone. So, do we hold this retest zone right here? Retest zone right here at 295, little pullback, little push higher. That's what I'd watch. mRNA, it's a biotech. I don't like to trade it. One news article could come out today, and this thing should shoot down to 200. One news article could come out today, and this thing could shoot to 400. It's just really not something I want to be a part of. But I just wanted to show you this little retest at 295. A nice hold. All right, Tesla. So, Tesla, is this just a massive flag here on the 4-hour chart, on the daily chart? It probably is. Over time, I think that's probably what we end up seeing. You can see on the daily. I think this is just another Tesla flag pattern forming. Maybe you do this over the next few months, maybe into next year. Start to get pretty tight here, and then you get maybe this move, or you get that move lower. But right now, I would say this is probably a very nice little Tesla flag, over the longer term. This is a daily chart, so I think that's probably what this is. This is the daily chart here. If we go out to, back before this whole move happened, you guys can see right here, this is sort of what Tesla did the last time, right? So Tesla from January to around, let's say around May, June, was sort of flagging, sort of moved lower, pushed back higher, rejected off the trend, pushed lower, held the bottom, started to push up, and started to break out of the trend. And once you started to see that happening, look at what happened here. Just a total explosion of upside. Really clean, to be honest. So do we get that exact same move over the next few months? That's what I would assume. So let's keep an eye on this Tesla flag over the long term. I would watch it. I think that's probably what you end up seeing. But, of course, only time will tell. Visa. Let's go quickly over Visa, MasterCard, Amex. I just want to go to the weekly charts and show you guys this. So, actually, you know what? Let's go daily. Daily. Let's get a little bit more time. Zoom out. Here we go. All right. So, here's Visa. I'm interested in these. Visa, little bottom here. Starting to try to hold here around 195. I think you need a little bit more confirmation, though, because you're still in a downtrend. You still got the 20 SMA. All the moving averages are sloping straight down. You don't really like to... It's hard to mess with the moving averages when they're sloping straight down. You can see how these moving averages really change direction here. So it's going to take some very strong support to get this thing going again. But this is definitely worth watching, guys. This could be a very nice trade. Let's say Visa really starts to catch some momentum, starts to make some higher lows. Let's say something like this starts getting on an uptrend here. Then maybe you take this, and maybe you can play this thing back to the upside. But as of right now, I think it's a little early. If you're trying to be a hero and you want to be the first in line, then maybe. But if you'd rather just wait for a little bit more confirmation, that's probably what I would do. But Visa, MasterCard are pretty interesting off these sell-offs. So here's MasterCard, daily chart. Very similar chart here. You guys can see previous levels here around 312. I like this. This is interesting. Yesterday had a very nice day. If we go to yesterday's price action, this is what it was. So a nice little move higher yesterday off the support. So that's what I'd be watching. I'd watch this Visa, MasterCard. I'd watch these levels. There's very good possibility of it holding. If it's held in the past, then I would say that there's a higher chance of it holding again than not, right? I mean, if you just look at historicals, if you just play off technicals, you would assume that there is a better chance of this moving higher here than moving lower. So that probability is in your favor, in my opinion. That's at least how I look at it. You know, you have the probability of previous support turning into resistance here. It's a very potential trade. So I'd watch it. Again, moving averages are sloping down, so they're going to take some strength. Do you want to be first in line? That's up to you. Amex, what the hell is Amex? AVX, right? No, what is Amex? Why am I forgetting the Amex ticker symbol, guys? I'm drawing a blank right now. Why am I drawing a blank on the Amex ticker symbol? Who's going to help me here? I cannot remember the Amex ticker symbol. What is the Amex ticker symbol? What is American Express? I thought it was AVX. Someone help me. AXP. Jesus Christ. Thank you. Wow, that's embarrassing. All right, AXP. So AXP, very nice. Little bit of a bounce yesterday, but you know, I'm a little bit concerned about the drop below. I would have liked to see that level. I don't even know what AVX is. I would have liked to see that level, but I'll show you where we are holding, and that is right here, right? So you have previous highs, and you're holding that level. So I would have liked to see the 158 hold, but we didn't get that, right? We got the push lower. We got the hold right here. You guys can see 150. Very nice hold there. Starting to push higher. What you need to do, though, is this is turning into resistance now, right? So previous support turns into resistance. That is what I would be careful of right here. So American Express could get some legs with with Visa and MasterCard. You got your hold here at 150, previous high into support. Does this push through this 158? That's what I would be careful of, right? Because that could definitely turn into some resistance here, right here. 158, that's what I would watch. So American Express to the upside, it's worth watching. You just took a nice little dip here, nice little haircut, just about 20% on AVX, or AXP, Jesus. That's what I would watch, 158. They need to change their ticker symbol. AXP, make it AVX. No, AVX doesn't really make sense, does it? American Express. American AM, yeah, maybe it does make sense. Just do Amex. Is Amex even a ticker symbol? Look, there's no ticker symbol for Amex. Just make it Amex. Maybe more people will buy this stock. Anyways, Upstart. Now, I've been wrong about Upstart a few times here, right? I tried to buy it on a few of these dips, didn't really work out, and you can see that it's just been sort of dying here. So the one thing I'll say is you do have a little bit of a loose uptrend right in this area. You guys can see you have test, a nice little slide here, nice little test along this end here, and then you have this very nice pullback to this uptrend. Now, you hit the uptrend yesterday, and you definitely, this is what I'll say about an uptrend, right? It shows itself. The uptrend definitely showed itself. Now, does it hold over an extended period of time? That is a whole nother question. It showed itself yesterday, right? It definitely showed that there was an uptrend on the charts. It's not by some voodoo magic, you know, that it held up. Look at Upstart yesterday. Look at this trend line. Look at where I drew it. And look at what it did yesterday, and look at what it's doing here in the pre-market, right? A big move on the pre-market. That would have been nice to swing trade. Wow, up 20 points here. Is there news? I don't think there's news. I think this thing's just moving up. But anyways, uptrend that we just put on the daily chart. Look at this hold here. So this thing's definitely showing that it wants to hold in this area. Here, Upstart yesterday. If we go back to the daily chart, you guys can see the little wick that was built yesterday on this trend. You can see this nice little bottoming, wick here. It got pushed higher, closed near high a day, and now we're up to around 191, which is pretty legitimate bounce here today. Back up to sort of these 191 levels. So, Upstart's interesting. It really is. It's definitely something that I'm going to be watching. I would watch. I'm trying to get this here on the charts. This is what I'd be careful of right here. These previous highs. You guys can see these previous highs here. This whole area is what I'd be watching as potential resistance. So right there, these previous highs could turn into resistance, but if Upstart does start to bounce off this trend line, this could be a very interesting play. Yeah, Chef Joe, when I think of Upstart, I think about you. So keep an eye on that, Chef. Square. All right, Square's trade yesterday. We'll go over it real quick, guys. If you want to get more in detail, just go watch my video yesterday. So yesterday, I came into the day, as you guys know, looking for a rejection on the Nasdaq at 16,000. The push higher, the rejection, the move lower. Square did the exact same thing, right? Push higher into pre-market resistance. Look at these wicks. These wicks gave away this trade. Right here, guys. Look at these wicks. Look at this price action. You can't ignore that, right? Rejection, 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 rejection. Every candle moving lower, rejecting off this 195. When I saw that, I took the play and I held it until I saw a higher low form on the chart. That was right here. Higher lows started to come in right here. This was a low. This was a little two-legged pullback. 1, 2. That was a higher low. Here's a higher high. And when I saw that, I'm out, right? I was just looking for a day trade. So nice trade on Square. Nice pre-market resistance. That was Square. If you want to see more video, I posted yesterday. PayPal. Nice move here in the pre-market on PayPal. This is just, I don't have much for you guys here, to be honest. I'm putting this on the chart. I'm putting this on your radar because I think this is a little bit crazy. PayPal is down. It's getting close to being down 100% from the highs. Or not 100%. You would need a 100% move to get back almost. I mean, 150 would be about a 100% move, right? So at this point, you would need about a 70% move on PayPal to get back to highs. I mean, PayPal, I know, I have to learn a little bit more about the fundamentals. Just thinking about PayPal, I know there's definitely a lot of competition for it. Definitely with the blockchain, with, being maybe eventually PayPal not being needed. So there's definitely some competition for PayPal. However, for this thing to be down as much as it is, maybe this 173 level is starting to get interesting. I have to believe that there is something here, some kind of sympathy, maybe up to these highs, maybe up to these lows, maybe up to around the 200 level. I feel like there's got to be something here. This is the weekly chart, and you have been falling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks in a row. This is 7 weeks in a row that PayPal has been red. That's just about 2 months. PayPal has been red every week for the last 2 months. This is something where you take your shot very small, look at once you start to see some bullish confirmation, maybe the first green weekly chart, first green weekly candle, maybe that's your first indicator, maybe a hold here at 173. But PayPal is something that I would at least watch. It's not something that I would go throw my money into today, but it's something that is definitely, in my head at all times, on my radar, to make sure that I don't forget about this pullback that is going. And you never want to doubt. When I go around these charts and I look at these charts, I always am thinking about what I would think if PayPal did something like this, right? If in 2 years from now PayPal was higher than where it was, I always think about, hey, this is a pullback that's worth potentially watching. And once I start to see something hold up, is this something that I could see PayPal returning from? Is this a good deal? Will I look back in 2 years from now and say, holy shit, damn, I missed that opportunity? So if I think like that, there's always maybe something small to be put on the line, something that you're willing to risk, guys. If you're going to put, $200-300 on the Dallas Cowboys last night, in sports betting, maybe think about taking a little out of the money, further dated call option for $200, right? That could pay off much better, right? Maybe take if there's even something for that price, maybe a February, March, April, May next year calls for pretty far out of the money, maybe 280s, 290s, 260s. That sort of, I know that sounds bad, But, that's just sort of, if you're really going to go throw away money somewhere else, it's probably better spent here on PayPal. So, that's not real trading advice, guys, but it's this is definitely worth watching PayPal. I think at some point you're going to see something here. Netflix. So Netflix is another one that I'm pretty interested in on this pullback. I don't know if it's quite ready because this is pretty ugly last 2 days, but it's at our stair step level of 614. You guys can see right there. That's our stair step level at 614, 1, and then you have this previous support or previous resistance. Over the last 2 days, PayPal has lost 9%. 2 huge red candles to the downside. So I'm definitely watching this 615 level today. If this thing holds this 615, I would look for maybe some support bounce. So watch that 615. GT Vine, thank you, man. 199. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you for everything in the Discord. Thank you for everything you do. Appreciate you. All right, so that's Netflix. Let's quickly go. On what the members want to look at, and then we got to jump out of here. It's getting late. All right, so the first stock that what are the likes? What likes do we got in here? 200. Damn, you guys just don't really like pressing that like button. Press the like button for me if you could, guys. Take a second. Take a second. Takes 1 second. Go press the like button if you could. We're about to go over some more charts here. We're going to go over Costco, RK, Facebook. We went over Tesla, PA. So maybe I'll look at PA. Maybe I'll look at it short term for you, PA, because I know you're here a lot. Intel and Adobe. All right, let's go ahead and do it. Yeah, let me take a look at Roblox. Good call. All right, Costco. Nice pullback on the daily. Yeah, very nice pullback on the daily under the 20 SMA. That's something I'd be a little concerned of. Watch that 20 SMA on Costco. To the 11.4 highs. 11.4 highs. Yeah, if you get that, yeah, that is where you pulled back to, actually. You're right. So, nice little retest there on Costco. Costco is a very strong stock, guys. Costco has been very, very strong. So, push higher, pull back. This is a break and retest. This could be a very nice opportunity. Watch this. You just want to see it get through the 20 SMA on Costco. So, watch that on Costco. That looks pretty decent. RK, I don't know what to say, guys. RK is something that I am struggling with right now. RK is, I have probably about $6,000 in RK in my long term, and it's just not looking good. It's really not. I don't like a lot of the stocks they're holding. They continue to buy more of them. I maybe need to think about getting my money out of this. But I'm down like I'm not down like I think I'm down like $1,000 on a long-term shares. So it's not like crazy, but it just doesn't look good for me. I'm not really liking what they're buying more Roku, they're buying more Zoom, more Coinbase, stuff that's just not working right now. I mean, maybe they're just, maybe in the long term it works out, right? The dollar cost average. But as of right now, I would say RK does not look good here. Maybe the 100 SMA on the weekly chart is something that it holds up. But if this Nasdaq market starts to unravel, RK is going to get killed. I need to. That's what I've been thinking through. Do I want to take my loss on RK or do I just hold tight? That's something I've been thinking through. All right, Facebook. I'm all out of Facebook, guys. I took my loss like a man. Just accepted the loss. At this point, I'm just going to be watching it. We'll see if it holds up. Right now, yesterday was another nasty day. So at this point, maybe these 293s, if this really starts to move lower, maybe the 293s, again, this is the weekly chart. ARK is better on the way up during, yeah, of course it is, but it's not really happening, right? So pull back, see if this thing holds maybe this double bottom on the daily right here on Facebook. Yeah, I have my own stocks too. That's just like an ETF that I invested in. But you have this little, potential channel here on Facebook. If it holds to 308, if it does not, you pull back to maybe this 293. There's a S-ARC. Is there actually? No, is that? Oh, wow. I didn't know that there was a short arc ETF. So channel Facebook 293. That would be the deep pullback that I would probably, if we start the weekend here on the market, that's probably where you see this thing come back to. Right here around this 293. I can't get this thing to delete. All right. That's Facebook. Tesla, we looked at PV, but we can really quickly look at the short-term stuff for you. Let's look at like the 1 hour chart, because that's not really what I looked at. So on the 1 hour chart, you're holding this level pretty well. Look at this little 1080 level PV here on the 1080 here on Tesla. If you hold that, maybe you push back into this trend, but that's what I'd be watching, this 1080 level. See if that holds today, right here, 1080. If that holds, maybe you get a nice push higher there. Intel, daily chart, not really something I'd be interested in here, guys. Intel is just in a downtrend. It looks like it's getting stuck under this 20 SMA. Look at the 20 SMA on the daily chart. The only way I'd be interested here is if it pushes above that 20. All right. Roblox. I added Roblox to my long-term portfolio. I think I will continue to do that over time. Roblox, I think, is probably going to create a little bit of a flag here, to be honest. I think you're going to see a little flag form over the next few weeks, probably. Maybe something like this. And then maybe you get a push. That's probably what I'd be looking for here on Roblox, guys. Wait to see if this little downtrend breaks out. That's what I'd look for. Maybe the downtrend is starting to form. And maybe you start to push back into this previous 103, right? You get a push, you get a pullback, maybe a little bit of a flag here, back to 103, and then see if it can break above that trend. But I definitely like this. I like Roblox for the future. I just like I like the company. I like the future potential growth for it. And you can see right here, 111, you have one. TOS is starting to get slow on me here. 1, 2, and 3. See if that holds that 111. We already did MRVL. You can take a look this morning. Adobe. I just don't know if I like this resistance up here. You guys see this resistance that's coming in? That's a little bit tough. Be careful up here. You guys see how it's sort of just getting stuck up here? That's what I probably wouldn't be looking at buying calls up here, guys. This is more of like you play the downside with a risk to reward, right? So yeah, I would be careful up here at 672. Be careful. This is some pretty nasty resistance. All right, so this is, I was gonna give you the benefit of the doubt, Kalo, and because I saw you keep on spamming this chart VERU in the chat, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. I was gonna say, hey, if this is a penny stock, I'm gonna get very upset. But guys, please stop trading stocks like this. There's, you don't have to watch me. You can go watch, your local penny stock pumper, whoever it is on YouTube. If you come to my channel, you will not see me review these types of stocks. This is a waste of time, in my opinion. If you come to my channel, don't get upset when I share my opinion with you. My opinion is that this is a waste of time, and that the whole time that you've been sitting here in this stock, maybe you've been bag holding it, the money that you've been sitting in bag holding in this stock could have been going up 20, 30, 40% in a stock like Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Tesla, anything that is good. This is a waste of time. Stop trading stocks like this. Focus on good companies. Good companies. I think something that a lot of people forget about is good companies have the tendency to go higher. If you play good companies, there's probably a 70 to 30% chance that it moves higher over the time period of the stock. Why? Because there's actual good things going on at the company. People are wanting to invest in the company. So why not trade alongside of a company that is good, that has the tendency to go higher? You could be wrong and still be right? You could have a terrible entry and still be right in the long term, because the stock is it has a tendency to go higher. Play stocks that have tendencies to go higher. It just makes your life easier. Like Nvidia, you could have got into this any time over the last year and you would be profitable, besides the last few days, right? It doesn't even matter where you bought Nvidia. It's a good company. You could buy it now. If you sit on it, I could almost guarantee you in 5 years, you will be making money on it. It has that tendency to go higher. It is a good company. People want to buy it. So, stop buying crappy stocks. Stop it. That's how I'll leave you today. Stop buying crappy stocks. Buy good names. All right, guys. That's it. It's 9 o'clock. This is way too late. Press the like button. Subscribe to the channel, guys, if you want. If you want to join the Discord chat where we don't talk about penny stocks, down below, Discord chat. If you want to join, feel free. If you don't, it's fine. I don't care. Thank you guys so much. Shout out to everyone that supports the stream. Shout out to you guys for being just supportive. Thanks for coming to the live streams. Thanks for making my life a little bit more fun, because if I did this for a living and had no one to talk to, it would be very, very lonely. So thank you guys again, and I hope to see you in the next live stream. Press that like button. Talk to you later.